So here we go on a very exciting adventure. You see the brand new Norwegian Aqua out there, and we are walking the gangway to be one of the first few hundred paying guests on board this brand new ship. And here we go, officially on board the brand new Norwegian Aqua, getting that first hit of new ship smell. Here we are in the Penrose atrium, the very first thing we'll see upon boarding the ship. And this is amazing to be some of the first paying guests on board a brand new cruise ship. This will be the maiden voyage of Norwegian Aqua, and I am excited to be here, excited to show this off to you. There's going to be so many changes. This is the first of the Norwegian Prima Plus series of ships, so it's going to be different than the Prima, which I sold last year, but I'm so excited to show you the changes as I explore them myself. When I head up to guest services and ask a question real quick. So we're going to go to the elevators here, and we're on deck 6. This is where we entered, right here in the casino. We're going to go up one level though to deck 7, the location of guest services. Wish it was smell-o-vision because I can't tell you how strong this new ship smell is. The line for guest services, it is a long one already, but I have a couple questions that I need to ask. We just started boarding probably about 30 minutes ago, so folks are coming straight to guest services as they board. The cool thing about the atrium is it's so open. They got the huge windows on both sides of the atrium, so there's a lot of natural light in here. So right here is guest services. Already seeing some difference in the seating over here. Of course, this ship is 10% bigger than her sisters Prima and Viva, so it's expanded a bit, and this seating area is one of the first new things that we'll see. Beautiful areas of seating, of course, right here by the windows, so a nice modern, elegant seating area for you to come as you look out at the ocean, or rather the Southampton cruise port, which is where we're out today as we wait to depart. So I got my situations somewhat handled at guest services. That was a long line. It took about 30 minutes to get through there. Now we're on deck 8. They have a lot of places to sit. Looks like some enhanced loungers too. These loungers have actual like cushion headrests right here, which are nice. And we'll come around here and see an art installation photo op area, the Norwegian Aqua. Come here and take some Instagram shots here. And this is getting into the Infinity Beach area. This is one of the areas that's also expanded on the ship. It's bigger. Of course, one of the cool things about the Infinity Beach is the infinity pool that they have. And this is mirrored on both sides of deck 8. So right here, we'll see this first one. And if we go on the other side, we'll see the very same thing. And you see it does go right up to the edge of the ship, which is pretty daunting. But the reason there's more room over here is because they've actually done away with the slide over here. We're currently on the starboard side. They've done away with the slide, and it would terminate right over there where those seats are. But you don't have that here on Aqua, so it did create more space for them to expand things. But I really like this area. This is one of the areas that I enjoyed when I sailed on Prima. I like that they have the loungers out here, and I'm sure if you want to get one of these, you need to come out here as early as you can. Welcome on board Norwegian Aqua, the first paying customers to sail on this beautiful ship. Today is Friday, March 28th. We're here in Southampton in the United Kingdom, and I am so excited to be on this cruise ship. And this voyage is going to be big for multiple reasons. First of all, it's my 40th cruise, so I'm celebrating my 40th cruise. Second, it's the maiden voyage, the very first voyage with paying guests, a revenue cruise on board the Norwegian Aqua. And third, it's a transatlantic. So we are leaving Southampton today, and we don't go to another port or see land until we get to the United States. We're going all the way across the Atlantic. I've never done a transatlantic, so I'm kind of, I'm excited, but I'm also like, how's it going to be 9 days at sea? But hey, when you got a beautiful ship like the Norwegian Aqua, it's probably going to be pretty awesome. So we'll find out. There have been some big changes today, though. When I got here to port this morning, we were notified of some significant changes to this maiden voyage. And that happens from time to time. Of course, folks will tell you not to sail on a maiden voyage or inaugural cruises because they're so subject to change. However, this was not because of the ship or the cruise line itself, but it was because of weather across the North Atlantic. And now, what was supposed to be a 7-day cruise, we were supposed to start today, and we are starting today in Southampton and end next Friday, a week from now, in Boston. We're now delayed, and we're not going to be going to Boston at all. We're actually going to be a 10-day cruise now, ending in New York City on April 7th. So 10 days on board Norwegian Aqua. Was not expecting that at all, but a pleasant surprise, I guess. But that's 9 sea days in a row, just going across the Atlantic. We're not stopping anywhere. So would you do that? Let me know down in the comments. Have you done a transatlantic with that many sea days? Because I know 6 or 7 is not that abnormal on a transatlantic, but 9? Am I gonna make it? Now entering the indulge food hall area. This is the outdoor eateries, and I like that they've added these high tables and chairs here. They didn't have these before. Before they had like a think there was like a drink station here that you could pour your own drinks, but high tables and chairs were just expanded seating areas to make it a little bit larger. Of course, you can go inside right here and eat on the inside, so you don't have to worry about the weather or the elements. And that might be a factor on this cruise since we will be sailing across the Northern Atlantic in late March, early April. Here are the outside tables. Of course, one of my favorite places to eat on the entire ship because of the concept. And how it works here at Indulge Food Hall is you have this tablet and it has all of the eateries and all of the food available, and you can just order as much as you want. You order it here on the tablet. They're gonna bring it to your table. You just sit here and it's all included. Like, you don't have to pay additional for any of these things. When I sold Prima, I think I ate here just about every day. So I'm excited to get back here and try out some lunch, dinner offerings. They have breakfast here too. There's also a bar back here. I think this would be a great Sailaway location. So let's head inside here to Indulge and check it out on the inside. But you can see as we walk in here, all the different food stations. And this is actually where they prepare the food. Like, this is noodles, so if you ordered on the tablet something from noodles, it would be prepared and delivered from this station. There's also just desserts, which has, well, as you might figure, they have desserts, all sorts of desserts over there, some yummy looking desserts. And they also have seaside rotisserie over here. And they have tapas, so you can get some small plates. And then seating, this is a little bit different. Again, more kind of high top, high chair seating. And new here for the Aqua is Planterie. Planterie is a vegan eatery, so you can order food here. And I'm really excited to try this out. I'm not gonna eat right now, but maybe for dinner tonight or for lunch tomorrow, I'll come try this out. This is one of the new eateries. It looks like they've also added some seating right here as you walk through, coming into the entrance of Indulge, which we are now leaving. And as we leave the entrance, we're gonna walk into the local. And this is really neat, an updated aesthetic to the local bar and grill. So the neat thing about the local bar and grill, this side over here, they actually have more tables than they did on Prima, it looks like. But the bar is on this side. You can just come up to the bar, you can come up to one of these tables and sit, or you can actually go over to the other side. You can be sat here at a table and a server will come and help you with drinks and everything. So this is more of a sit down area over here. And this part of the local over here is more of a walk up and take whatever seating is available. But a great updated aesthetic, new look to the local bar and grill here on Aqua. So back here on deck 17 now, and still in the after the ship, but I wanted to show you Vibe Beach Club because Vibe Beach Club is adults only, but you have to pay additional to come back here. You have to scan your card in right here at this post. So we'll go into Vibe Beach Club. Originally, when I booked this cruise, I did not have a balcony, so I wanted a place where I could come and relax and sort of just have an area to my own, kind of like a balcony would be. These cabanas that they have here, you do have to pay additional for those. I think the cabanas were something like $5.99 or something for the cruise. But to have a Vibe Beach Club pass, it is $269 per person. So I paid $269 to have access to the Vibe Beach Club this cruise. But you can see the enhanced, plush, premium, deluxe, whatever you want to call them, loungers here. They're very padded, very nice. And then they got the tables, and they also have the umbrellas that you can come out and unwind the umbrellas and sit under that. And they also have a couple of hot tubs. So what you see over here is mirrored on the other side, so I won't go over there and show you both, but did want to show you the hot tub that they have here, which is very nice right here off the edge, and then more loungers back here. But I'm excited to have this and utilize it for the next 10 days now. And then another feature of the Vibe Beach Club is they have their own bar out here. So you don't have to worry about going out anywhere else to the pool deck or anywhere to get a drink. They have a bar right here. They also have a nice waterfall feature, which is really relaxing. And they also have drink service. So folks will be coming around bringing drinks to folks in chairs. So again, this is kind of just an upscale option for you to pay for. Again, if you want to have somewhere that you can just come and sit, be a little bit quieter. Like I said, it's adults only. You can come back here to Vibe Beach Club if you can get a pass. Now the passes are limited in quantity because of course they don't want 9 million people back here or everybody on the cruise ship buying a pass. They want to keep it exclusive. So make sure if you see it available and you want to book Vibe for your cruise that you do it as soon as you see the passes are available, because it does book up pretty quickly, especially on cruises like this one where it's a lot of sea days and a lot of people are going to be looking for deck space. But this will save you from having to look constantly every day for spaces out on the main pool deck too. You can just come back here and sort of have your own designated space. But this is Vibe Beach Club, and you'll be seeing more about it as I go throughout this cruise and in my tours and reviews and everything I do from this vlog series from here on board Aqua. While we are here on deck 17, this is the location of Surfside Cafe. Surfside Cafe is the main buffet here on board. It's right over there. We'll check that out in a moment, but I wanted to come over here because you have two specialty dining restaurants over here. The Mediterranean seafood restaurant, Palomar. Palomar was also on Prima and Viva. But then we have a brand new offering, which is going to be a Thai restaurant that they've just introduced. And this is that restaurant here. You can walk right in and take a look. They're not open right now for lunch. They're just open for like additional seating for the buffet. It's kind of like an overflow. But this is specialty dining in the evening. But if you like Thai food, I think this would be a great option for you. I can't wait to dine here and try it out. Now we will enter Palomar. Palomar, not new. I can already tell it's different than what it was on Prima. But this is the Mediterranean seafood restaurant on board. It's very upscale. It's very nice. I enjoyed this last time I dined here. And then this is Surfside Cafe, which is the main buffet. So you see it's lunchtime, so they do have plenty of offerings here for embarkation day. One of the complaints about the Prima and Viva was that it was very small in here, not a lot of seating. It looks like it might be a little bit bigger, but not much. But there are other options for seating because you can, hi, how are you? You can come out here and sit on the patio. Right out here by the main pool deck, they do have this additional seating area, an extension of the buffet seating. And now we're gonna see the main pool deck here on Aqua, which has been expanded. And it seems very lively this afternoon. But the pool is bigger than it was on Viva and Prima. And we'll take a look at that now. They've also added some nice premium seating here, which is cool. Yeah, this is much nicer. Also nicer that they don't have the racetrack here. You can see instead the Aqua Slidecoaster, which we'll go up in just a minute and check that out. That's also a new addition. But this pool deck is really nice. It's much bigger than it was. The pool seemed so tiny when I sailed on Prima, but this one seems like a normal sized cruise ship pool. They also have hot tubs on either side of the pool deck. So we'll take a look at that. That one's a little green. I have to shock that one, I think, or something. But I think it's cool that they don't have the racetrack up there because you don't have to hear go-karts constantly going by while you're hanging out at the pool deck. Still walk around here and check the pool out in full. There's also the Waves pool bar right here, which is, of course, as the name suggests, the main pool bar. And there we go, the main pool here on Norwegian Aqua. Now let's head inside here on deck 17 in the forward of the ship, because there's something very cool up here that I wanted to show you. This is the entrance to the observation lounge, and they always have a nice ship model on display. So this is a ship model for the Norwegian Aqua right here, making its YouTube debut, well, on my channel at least. And then this leads to the entrance of the observation lounge, and then also the Aqua Game Zone. The Aqua Game Zone has been improved a bit here on Aqua from what it was on some of the other ships, so we'll take a quick look at it. So whereas before on the other ships, it was sort of, there was a lot of different experiences. There's a lot of interactive experiences, a lot of things that you could pay additional money for. But here it's just like a big arcade slash hangout area. You see they've got some seating over here where the kids and maybe some of the older kids can come hang out. They've got Whack-A-Mole, Let's Whack a Clown. So they got some pretty classic games in here that you can check out. This reminds me of like Chuck E. Cheese when I was a kid, and some of these games I would play. They got different names here, but it's largely the same concept. They also got some claw arms. They've got a old-fashioned photo booth, if anyone remembers a photo booth. They've got one of those. Seems those have gone away now with Instagram and social media. So all sorts of different games in here. It's just a big arcade now. And real quick, we'll come over here to the other side. They got a beanbag toss. Oh, and here we go, Down the Clown, that game where you can throw the balls. This is really fun. I might have to come up here. And then more games over here, another claw. Ooh, they got a quarter machine right here. Well, it's a token machine, actually. It's not a quarter machine. Maybe they'll have a quarter machine in the casino. We'll have to check. The quarter machine, y'all, is my jam. I like to play that quarter machine. That's like all I ever do in the casino. And then more games back here. So a lot of stuff. There's a lot of options back here. So I'm sure the little ones and maybe even some of the big ones will really enjoy this updated arcade where it's more just a standard traditional arcade and not so much a lot of the additional rides and things that were on Prima and Viva. And we are going to head to the observation lounge, which is right here beside Game Zone. So this is the observation lounge here on deck 17, the very forward of the ship. It's just one of my favorite things about any Norwegian ship. They do have these observation lounges in the forward of their ships, high up, so it's a great place to come and get stunning views of wherever you're sailing. They've got these nice wraparound windows. They go all the way around the forward portion of deck 17 here in the observation lounge. They also have a selection of different desserts and snacks here too. They got a carrot cake, a coffee cake, some cookies, some scones, and some sandwiches here. I've officially been on board for about an hour now, and I have to say, I really like what I'm seeing so far. It's taking everything that I loved about Prima, and I keep mentioning Prima because that's my baseline, that's my reference point, because that's the only other Prima class ship I've been on, but I loved it. Prima was my favorite ship in 2024. I did another video, I'll link that up here, ranking the ships that I did in 2024, and well, Prima actually tied with Celebrity Beyond, but I loved Prima, so that's why I was so excited to go on this ship. This ship is just Prima Plus, literally. There are more spaces, there's just more to see, there's more to do. We've not even seen all the new stuff yet, so really liking it so far, really good vibe. Currently 12:50. So hopefully soon we'll get to go to the staterooms and drop off luggage and check that out. They did say that they might be ready around 1:30, but we'll see. You might be saying, well, this is a maiden voyage. Why aren't the rooms already ready? No one's stayed in them before. But that's not true, because Norwegian did 2 preview cruises, pre-inaugural, whatever they call them, ahead of this for media, press, and also travel agents. So they just got back this morning from a cruise with travel agents, I think like a 3 or 4 night cruise. So it's still, rooms are still being prepared for us. So may not be the first person to actually have slept in the bed that I'll have here on board Aqua, but that's okay. Now on deck 18. Deck 18 is gonna be the hub for fun, because this is where they're gonna have the games. This is where they're gonna have a lot of very exciting things, like what we see right up there, the entrance to something right up there, I think. This is very neat. Now, of course, on Prima and Viva, there would have been a slide over here, but as I already mentioned, the starboard slide is no longer here. There's only one slide. It'll be over on port. We'll see that in a minute. But there are a lot of different table games over here on starboard. There's like a little table soccer that you can play here. Looks like they got it set up for beer pong, some foosball. We're gonna go to the other side, and actually, if you look right above it, you can actually see the launch for the Aqua Slidecoaster. So we'll check that out in a bit too. Definitely wanna ride that at some point this cruise if the weather allows. I'm kind of curious about that, since it is gonna kind of be colder this cruise, it seems like. But moving right over here, we have tea time, and tea time is not new. Tea time is a continuation of something that was on Viva and Prima. You do have to pay additional for it. I think it's like $5 per person, but this is the mini golf on board the ship, and it's very interactive. Different locations, so like this is New York themed right here. This one over here is very appropriate as we're leaving from Southampton. This is themed from London. You got Greece here. You got the Netherlands right here, but right around the corner here from that is going to be our slide, the entrance to the slide anyway. This is the drop slide. It does go off of the port side all the way down to deck 8, so down 10 decks this slide goes, but you get in that tube there and they just drop you right down off the side of the ship. And let's see if we can see that. Yeah, you can see the slide there extending down to deck 8. You can also see from here Infinity Beach there on Ocean Boulevard. And they have moved the darts here. They did have the darts on Prima too, but if you want to play that, the bullseye, that's here, and there's a bar right there. There's actually another dart board on the other side of the bar as well. So pretty cool. I still haven't seen the entrance to the Aqua Slidecoaster. I'm still trying to find that. I think it's closed right now. I'm not hearing anybody screaming in excitement. So we're gonna check out the Aqua Slidecoaster in just a minute. I wanted to actually go to the room first because I've got these bags and you have to actually walk upstairs to get up there. So let's drop the bags at the room first and then we'll check that out. So 5824 is an Oceanview stateroom, and I'll show this off to you really quick. Very nice. I love the furniture in here, the furnishings, the aesthetic is very nice, very beautiful. You can see the bed right over here, the TV right here, which does articulate so that you can have it pointed toward the bed. Instead of having the TV over the bed, they have artwork right here. And you can see this is the bed from the other side of the room. A very spacious room though. From here, I'm up against the wall all the way back to the door. You can see all of the space that you have in this room, which is very nice. I'm gonna pull back the curtain here. Oh no, this is a porthole ocean view, but they have the storm cover over it, so they must be expecting high Oh, high waves. So, oh no. Ocean view that's not so ocean view, because it's now an interior basically. But this is the room. Just wanted to show you the ocean view room. I really like too these lamps that they have over here that you can move around and point in different directions, have like reading lights over here. That is very nice. This almost reminds me of like an upscale hotel room, sort of that modern elegance. I love that the vents blow out over the bed because I love it to be cool at night. So this is really nice. A couch over here. I'm not sure if this pulls out. I don't think this pulls out to a bed. And then look at the lamps that they have here that do have a standard USB and also USB-C outlets. And then here beside the bed, they do have a light switch and also a standard outlet plug, and then a lamp over there where you can actually have your USB-C and USB outlets beside the bed. So a lot of different plug-ins and space here. You can see another standard USB and USB-C here and a standard plug. We'll come here now and look at the bathroom situation. Very nice. I like the black marbled look back there in the back. That's really a cool touch. And one of my favorite things about these bathrooms, I know this from Prima, I love these showers because these showers are quite spacious for a cruise ship. And this room is brand new. I don't think anyone stayed in this room. And then they did deliver my water that I ordered. I ordered water before the cruise because even though Norwegian might include a drink package with your booking, water is not included in that drink package. So I did order some bottles of water, some cans of water rather, to be here in the room. But this is the Oceanview stateroom. Oceanview with large window, I think, is the exact name of the stateroom. But we are not staying in the stateroom because I actually did the Upgrade Advantage. The Upgrade Advantage is Norwegian's bid program. You can bid on upgrades. And I did that yesterday, the day before the cruise, and actually won an upgrade. I think I did it for like 300 bucks and won an upgrade to a balcony. And I'm glad I did that now, knowing that it's going to be 9 days at sea. But that means I need to go get access. I went to that room. I'm supposed to be on the 16th floor. I went to that room and my card would not let me in. So I think I'm going to have to go back to guest services, even though that is a pain because there's so many people at guest services. But I'm going to need to go back there and see if they can get this taken care of. They've also delivered all my water here, all of the correspondence that they've left me. They've left it here in this room. So I'm going to need to go and get that straightened out and taken care of. But we will be in a balcony room. So I'll be showing you that in a minute. But I didn't want to come drop my bags, but now I'm going to have to go to guest services. I'm glad we are moving because I don't like that that window is closed off while having ocean view. I understand for operational reasons it has to be closed off, but I'm glad now that we're moving to a balcony because I don't want to not have an ocean view and an ocean view stateroom. And it's about like what it was earlier, so probably another 30 minutes in this line to get our key card situation straightened out so we can get in our stateroom. So I need to make some dining and show reservations, and on embarkation day, the Aqua Theater on deck 6 is the place to do that. It's reservation center, so I'm gonna go in here and see what we can get at 2 p.m. On embarkation day. I don't know what, if anything, will be left. So it's just a lot of people in here. A lot of people, and we've already waited in line at guest services, and now to wait in line here to make reservations. I don't know if I want to do this or not. Maybe it's not worth it. So I have several complaints to tell you about, but this right here is a big complaint because I don't know why they won't just let you use the app to make your reservations. They do have the functionality to do that, the capability to do that on the app. It exists there, but right now it says no reservations are available, and they're having everyone come here and get in that big line. Like I said, just waited in another 30 to 45 minute line at guest services to get my room situated, and you know, I did the upgrade yesterday, got the confirmation yesterday, but it's not in Norwegian's system. It was not updated on the ship system. So now they're saying, well, we don't see that in our system that you did the upgrade, even though I have the confirmation email, thank goodness, showing that I did. So I had to email them that. They have to put in a ticket to someone. So I can't even go to my new stateroom. I've got to go to the interior ocean view stateroom that I have. While we're here on deck 6, though, we'll talk about more of what's new or what's changed a bit. This is the casino bar right here. The casino now takes up more of deck 6 than it did before. You can see it extends all the way up here, all the way to where you come in right over there where the stairwell is. All this is part of the Aqua Casino. And we're gonna go toward the aft here on deck 6. And also here on deck 6 is Improv. Improv is the venue where they have comedy and other things. And oh my goodness, I have to stop saying that because I have to show you the quarter game. Here it is. I was just talking about that in the arcade. I hope that they have one, and they do. there it is. So if you want to know where I'm spending my 9 days at sea, you got it right there. But the Improv is where they currently have set up for folks to come and use computers and tablets and things so that they can change any reservations if they need to because of the change to our itinerary. Another improvement that they've made over the Prima and Viva is this venue is larger. This is where they have comedy some nights of the cruise, and I know that one of the complaints that people had about Prima and Viva that they were just too small. So 10% bigger this ship than those ships, and one of the ways that you notice that ship being bigger is through these bigger venues that they have. But right now this venue has been utilized to help folks out to change their travel plans once the cruise is over. So we're just remarking at Improv and how much bigger it was. Now we're here at Metropolitan and we're gonna take a look at how much bigger it is because it's been expanded also in size, and also Cagney's has been moved. Cagney's is the probably the premier specialty dining. It's the reservation that everyone wants, but it's now been moved to here on deck 7 into this nice location here. We'll take a quick look inside. Hi. Still has the same aesthetic, but it's just in a different location. Probably around the same size too, if not just a tad bigger. But this is Cagney Steakhouse. Here on deck 7, right beside the Metropolitan Lounge, which we'll look at now, which is bigger, like the Improv. It is bigger, more seating now. And I like this venue. I like this venue on Prima. I know this is gonna be a lively place because they have live music in here at night. And then here in the very back, well, almost the very back of deck 7 is Nama, which is the sushi and sashimi restaurant, the specialty restaurants for additional pay. They're going to be moving at, in 15 minutes, it's 2:30 now. At 2:45, they're going to be moving the dinner reservations to back here, and there's already a line. Right across from Nama is La Bistro in its new location. La Bistro also on Prima and Viva, but it's in a new location here on board the Aqua. And this is definitely one of the more beautiful specialty dining restaurants. Probably, I think I said on any ship, and I think that's true here. It's just so nice with the light colors, the light blue hues, and then this huge chandelier. Although there's only one chandelier here. I think there were 2 or 3 even on those other ships. And back here on the back of deck 7 is kind of dining central, because if we turn this way, we're gonna enter into Hudson's, which is the main dining room. And you can see here on the floor, it says Hudson's. And we can take a quick peek back here. I do like the entrance to Hudson's because you kind of go down this hallway and then you turn around the corner and suddenly you're in the main dining room. And the cool thing about this main dining room, in addition to how beautiful it is, but it has these windows wrapped all the way around it. So you have stunning views of the ocean in the wake view, which is, in my opinion, the best view from the ship. And I'm still wheeling my luggage around because I just don't have a home. I'm like a nomad right now, nowhere to live until they get my room situated and figured out. And now outside doing my celebratory promenade walk. If you've watched my videos before, you know that means that I have now completed muster drill. We are now officially on a cruise here on board Norwegian Aqua. Muster drill was very easy. They want you to do the safety video and like a little safety demonstration. They actually have a little YouTube video Norwegian does that's specific to the ship. You watch that beforehand, and then when you get on the ship, you just go wherever your location was. Mine was D1, and then they hook you right on up. They scan your card to show that you came to your location, and that's it. We have done our muster drill, and now we just got to figure out where we're going to be living. So here's actually the drop, the side we saw earlier, way up there on deck 18. This is the terminus of it right here, right beside the outdoor section for the local. But my balcony is going to be deck 16, so all the way up the top there, you see where that little circular area comes out. That's actually the buffet, the Surfside Cafe up there. So my balcony is right under it, so right up the top level. That's where I'm gonna be for the next 10 days. Well, maybe, we'll see when I actually ever get to go there. I also wanted to highlight this outdoor seating area for Los Lobos. Los Lobos is specialty dining. And then there is Onda and the outdoor seating for that. So one of the things I really love about Ocean Boulevard is that you've got the infinity beach areas, but you also have outdoor seating for a lot of the specialty restaurants. Ooh, what a day it's been so far. So it's now 2:45. So we've been on the ship a little over 3 hours, but a lot has happened in that 3 hours. And I don't feel like I've gotten to enjoy anything yet, just because it's been a lot of like worrying about my room and getting that situated. So again, right after we sail away, they said that they'll try to get that figured out. So I'm hoping that that happens so I can go and unpack and settle into my room. I'm just in this Oceanview room right now, but so many people were at guest services complaining about, you know, I showed you the storm cover on the window, and a lot of people were saying kind of what I did, like, we didn't pay for an interior, we paid for an Oceanview, like we want that removed. So I don't know how that's going to be resolved or what's going to happen there, but a lot of folks were upset. It feels like a rocky start to this cruise on board Norwegian Aqua, and I get it. With maiden voyages and inaugural cruises, there's a lot of things that have to be figured out. With the crew, it's a new ship. You know, people say don't take maiden voyages or inaugural voyages for this reason, but it just feels like, unfortunately, a lot of things are happening and coming together, and it's creating long lines. It's creating folks having to redo travel plans. The storm that's out in the Atlantic that's causing us to have to reroute and take a longer course to get to New York City is just really, that's out of everyone's control. So that's one thing, and people now have to change travel arrangements and make new travel arrangements and really redo plans. So I understand that, but it's just unfortunate that that's kind of the start to the ship's life is kind of all this mishap happening. I'm kind of curious if they put those up in anticipation of the storm, because even if we go around it, maybe we're going to have high swells and stuff. So I couldn't figure out if those storm covers are on the windows because they came with it, you know, they came with the ship and they just haven't taken them off yet, or if they actually put them up because of the storm. At any rate, it is quite alarming when you've booked an Oceanview and it's dark in here like an inside cabin. And I like an inside cabin. We're supposed to be going up to a balcony soon. We'll see that in a bit if we do get up there at some point today. But right now I want to go try to make some dining reservations. I do have one specialty dining included with my reservation. And I'll say about my reservation here, this cruise was so cheap. For the 7-day that I originally booked, now turned into a 10-day, I paid about $1,000 for an Oceanview. And that includes the More at Sea, which includes the beverage package, which is like basically all your drinks are included with that. It included, because it's an Oceanview, it included one dinner at a specialty restaurant. If you booked in a balcony or higher, it's 3, but it's 1 with a Oceanview or an interior. And then it came with like 150 minutes of internet. So a lot of things included for $1,000. And then I paid $300 for my upgrade. So basically $1,300 all included for a balcony for a 10-day cruise. Like that's $130 a night with everything included. You really cannot beat that. So that's the reason I picked this cruise. I wanted to come on this cruise. It's a new ship and I loved Prima, so of course that's a reason too, a strong reason. And then I wanted to do a true transatlantic, like just shooting straight across the Atlantic with no stops, and that's what we're going to do, and I've got that and then some. So Prima Plus, not only is the ship bigger, but the itinerary is also bigger today too. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now and we're going to go explore more of this embarkation day here on board Norwegian Aqua. All right, so back out and about now. Deck 18, we're going to go up to deck 19 and 20, where we're going to find more tea time. We saw tea time a bit ago. It was a mini golf, but there's actually some more holes up here, which I did not realize earlier. Good look back here off the back of the ship, back down at Viva Beach Club. What a beautiful embarkation day it's turned out to be here. We have Alaska over here and Mexico right here. So really neat extension of the tea time. Now we're going to go up one more deck to deck 20 to Glow Court, which is also another new addition. So many new additions to this ship. Of course, this is all like the sports hub where all the cool fun activities are back here. And then Glow Court is located right here on the very top of the ship. I think it is, yeah, it's closed right now, but it's like an interactive basketball court you can see in there. Of course, you got a good view right here of the Aqua Slidecoaster, which I'm excited to try out. Not going to be open today though. I did see in the program it's going to be closed for today, but maybe in the next few days we'll be able to test that out. But you can kind of see the concept of how it works here, getting launched right there up into the tunnel itself. There's also a pickleball court up here. But we're headed to the Aqua Slidecoaster, the first of its kind on a cruise ship. You might be thinking, well, there's slides on cruise ships, water slides. That's true, but they're not like this. Do you see those rafts right there? So basically you're sitting in that raft. It pulls right up here to this mechanical arm you see there. The arm pushes that raft all the way up there and into the tubes, into the tunnel, into the slide. So there's where it ends right there, right up above the pool deck down there on 17. Then you can track it all the way back here around this other side. And the cool thing about the Aqua Slidecoaster is it is included. It's not additional cost. That's different from the go-karts. The go-karts that this replaced were additional costs, so it's nice that they actually replaced something that was additional cost for something that's included in your cruise fare. But really cool, really can't wait to get on this and try it out. One of our days at sea, one of our many days at sea on this cruise.
So please raise your glass right now. If you don't have it, pretend you have one, as we're gonna do official countdown to your vacation. I hope you're ready, because here we go. In 4, 2, 1.
We're currently sailing away from Southampton, and the sun's setting. I would love to be outside getting great footage, but I'm in the guest services line because I still don't have a stateroom to go to, which I'm finding pretty unacceptable at this point, given that it's past 6 p.m. on embarkation day. And yeah, I paid for an upgrade. I should be able to have access to that stateroom. So I'm here to fight for that and vouch for that access. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, sailing away from Southampton, you can see the sunset. The last land we will see for 10 days. Southampton to New York City. It'll take us 10 days to get there because we have to go around that storm. So yeah, this is it. The last sight of land. I am so tired of waiting in this guest services line. This has been the third time today that I've waited. And
yeah, he sent us a picture and she's like,
yeah, I just noticed on the app that they have changed my room number to the correct room number, to the balcony room number. So hopefully that means when I go up here, all they're going to need to do is print me a key for the new balcony stateroom. So we'll see. But it's almost 7 o'clock. I've completely missed Sailaway. I see the last bit of land now that we're going to see for the next 10 days. But I'm just hoping they do something. I'm also very tired just because it's been such a long day of travel to get to the ship, to maneuvering around embarkation day and everything. So let's hope they can help me. Before we head up to check out our new room, there's one more thing I need to show you that's new here. First of all, the whiskey bar was moved from Prima Viva, I think it was on deck 7, deck 8, in the main lobby, to here on the back of deck 6. But also here on the back of deck 6 is the Swirl Wine Bar, and it's completely new. Debuting here on board Norwegian Aqua. And it's this little venue right here where you can come and get your wine on, basically. I wanted to show this off. The Swirl Wine Bar. And it looks like you can start here at these little iPads and say whether you have the more at sea or not, and it'll tell you what wines you might be able to order. So this is the Swirl Wine Bar here on the back of deck 6. It's right here beside the Commodore room. The Commodore room is one of the main dining rooms. You saw Hudson's earlier. Commodore room is another of the main dining rooms. I finally get access to my true stateroom for this cruise. Oh man, and the beds are separated. So I'll have to ask them to fix that for me. This is an adjoining stateroom though, so there is a door here. That's fun, to the next stateroom over, but of course we won't need that. We'll have to ask them to change this, so I'll have to find the room steward. I also need to find the room steward to help me get into my old stateroom and get my luggage out of there. So what a mess, what a fiasco this has been. But let's go out onto the balcony real quick, because we have last light to look out and see some of our last views of land that we'll have. And as I mentioned earlier, we are just under the buffet, the Surfside Cafe, which is up above us. So we do have this nice little, it's pretty nice though, because it's covered, so the sun won't hit us as directly here. But we are way up here. You can look down below and see Ocean Boulevard down there below us as we sail along out of Southampton toward the front of the ship up there. And a beautiful night at sea we're headed into. I like this. The highest deck pretty much that you can have a balcony cabin from. So we're up here. Gonna have to go find my luggage. I'm so tired, y'all. I'm so tired. This is a beautiful stateroom. It's very spacious too. That's one of the things that I'll say about the staterooms on Aqua and on Prima, and I'm sure Viva. I haven't been on Viva, but I'm sure it's the same there. That they're so spacious. There's a lot of room. The space is so well appropriated in those rooms. So this is cool. And I think I'll be the first person to ever stay in this room because it doesn't seem like anyone else has stayed in it yet. And then here's the bathroom. It looks a lot like the bathroom we saw earlier with the Oceanview cabin that we were in. And I will admit, I was a little off-put by having an adjoining room. I never had that before, and I was trying to get away from it, but I think it'll be okay. Of course, you know, you can lock the door here. Oh, it's not locked. It's locked now. So when we open the door, you see there's just a door behind it, but the people over there would have to open that door for you to be able to access their room. We're not going to do that. We're just going to lock this one so that no one can access our room. But I do like that the TV is in front of the beds, which was different in the Oceanview room. So glad to have a balcony again. $300 additional to have this, even though I've missed most of today having it because of all the snafus of actually getting in the room. But here we are now in our balcony stateroom. I'll back all the way up so we can get the full view of it. And this was left at the door. Actually, we are changing the clocks back 1 hour tonight. So we're going closer to US time. We're currently 4 hours ahead. That's how far ahead England is currently from the East Coast of the United States. So as we near New York, we're going to be moving. Okay, so I was able to get the room attendant to come, and they said they were ending their shift, so they would just put the beds together with separate, just two twins together with twin sheets. So that's what we're doing tonight, and then tomorrow we'll get queen sheets. So that's the solution. You know what? We're going to just go with it tonight because I'm just happy that the beds are together and I'm ready to go to bed, even though it's only 7:30. One more thing I wanted to mention, because I talked about dining reservations today and about standing in line, how I didn't want to stand in line. And they actually said that dining reservations are not available on the app this cruise, probably for most of this cruise at least, because it's still new, they're still setting it up. So just one of the things that's not available because this is a maiden voyage and they're still getting that up and running. So that's the reason why the lines were all over the place and so long lines to get dining reservations. So I'm going to try tomorrow. They're going to open up the queue again tomorrow, so maybe I'll try tomorrow to get a couple or a few dining reservations for this cruise. Just don't want to spend my whole cruise in line, which what I felt like I've done a lot today. So just an update on the dining reservation situation, since we did talk a lot about it in this video. All right, so I finally got my room moved and I'm tired, y'all. It's 8:15 p.m. But given that I flew over last night and got very little sleep on the airplane, I'm about ready for bed. But I still need to go get dinner. I'm going to go to Indulge Food Hall and just get something. I'm going to put in some clips of what I got here. Yum, wasn't that delicious? Doesn't it look delicious? I'm sure it's going to be delicious because I love Indulge Food Hall. Loved it on Prima, so I'm sure it's going to be so great here on Aqua as well. And don't worry, there's going to be a lot more footage of Indulge Food Hall. I'll walk you through all that in future vlogs because I am planning to do a couple of different vlogs. A couple more vlogs from this cruise. So this is just embarkation day, and what an embarkation day it's been. It's been the wildest embarkation day that I can remember. In 40 cruises, this is the wildest embarkation day that I've had. A lot of hiccups, a lot of twists and turns, a lot of things that have really tested my patience today. But you got to pack plenty of patience when you come on a cruise, when you go on vacation. Just happy to be on Norwegian Aqua. Been looking forward to seeing this ship for a long time. So glad the day's finally here. Glad to be on it. Glad to be on it for 10 days. I mean, you can't complain about extra days being added onto your cruise. I know that it's a hassle for a lot of people that have to change a lot of reservations and plans and things, but luckily for me, it didn't mess up a whole lot of things. It'll actually work out pretty well. And I'm excited to have a balcony and be in this balcony for the next 10 days. And I'm excited to bring you along with me. So make sure you go down below and subscribe if you've not already. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on our next adventure here on board the Norwegian Aqua.